This is Twit. I am curious. Mary Jo Foley knows. Windows, Microsoft Office on the iPad coming soon to an iPad near me?
Maybe sooner than we thought originally.
It's alive, she says.
Yeah, this was funny. Last week after we taped Windows Weekly, Tammy Reller, who's the head of marketing at Microsoft, did a presentation at a tech conference. And she was asked, of course, about Office for the iPad, like everybody at Microsoft gets asked all the time. And she gave kind of a wishy-washy answer, but she just said, yeah, we're being thoughtful about it and blah, blah, blah. So suddenly everybody, like all the semi-professional Microsoft watchers, I should say, not the real ones, jumped on this and made it immediately into, oh, Microsoft's not going to do Office for the iPad. Listen to what she said. She was like very hesitant and blah, blah, blah. Well, no. I checked in with my sources and said, okay, are they still doing it? And it came back, yes, they're still doing it. And not only are they doing it, but they're going to do it quicker than the original timeline had them scheduled to do it. So originally, they were supposed to do Office for the iPad and come out with it around this fall sometime, October 2014-ish. But supposedly, here's what my sources said. They said late last year, the Office management went to Steve Ballmer and they said, you know what, we could actually deliver Office for the iPad before Office, the touch version of Office for Windows, if you guys want to. And they said, okay. Wow. Which is showing you how different Microsoft is. The Microsoft of today is
Satya Nadella Microsoft has begun.
Yeah, except this actually happened with Ballmer, which is kind of crazy, right? So they went to Steve B and said, hey, can we do this? And we can if you guys want to. And they supposedly said yes. So
she was like, whatever, I'm on the way out.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
Hey, I'm not...
Knock yourself out.
Yeah.
So supposedly in the first half of this year, so by the end of June, Office for iPad will be out.
What do we know? What do we think? Is it a subscription model? Is it free? Do you have an Office 365 subscription? What is it going to be?
So we don't know for sure, obviously, but the rumor is Office 365 subscription required, just like Office Mobile for the iPhone and for Android phones. So, you know, some people say that makes it less attractive, but you got to think from Microsoft's perspective, how do you kind of put a little bit of a premium on what you get for Windows versus what you're going to get for your iPad, right? And one way you could do that is to tie the iPad one to a subscription. That's the rumor. I don't know. I don't really know what this means. So many people are saying, oh, is it them giving up on Surface? No, it doesn't mean because they're going to come out with this for the iPad first that they're giving up on the Surface. But it's, again, just like the case we were talking about with Android and phones, it's going to be some tricky positioning if you're Microsoft, right? Like, how do you tell your customers who are waiting for the Gemini Office Touch First release that, hey, you guys are going to come after the iPad? They're going to have to tell them.
It's going to be the same applications, though. I mean,
it's going to be Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote only, supposedly.
But like, will Office for iPad and will Touch Office for Windows?
Oh, be the same. Are you asking that?
Well, you get Windows One.
Yeah, I don't know if it will be the same. Supposedly, both of them are optimized for touch. But we don't know for sure if that means it's the exact same set of features and the same kind of controls, you know, the way you might have a radial dial on those kind of apps to select things. I don't know how that's going to look, or if it will be.
I'm real curious to see about this, how they're going to take, because Office can be pretty complicated, obviously, and how do you make it touch retain, because obviously they can't put all the features in there, but they have to put the main one. So I'm really curious because I mean, I think that is still a big complaint with the Surface. Yeah, right, exactly. How do you determine that?
Yeah, right. Because supposedly the touch first versions of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote that are going to be the Metro style apps that are coming, the thing that's codenamed Gemini, those are not supposedly as fully featured as the desktop Office, right? So
well, that's inevitable, I think. Isn't
it? Yeah. Me too.
Because you don't want to be like writing macros and things.
Exactly. Right. So I think you'll see something similar, right, for the iPad. It won't be every possible feature that's in PowerPoint or Excel that's taken to the iPad. It'll be a subset, I would think.
Microsoft still has the ability, though, at least on the surface, to sort of integrate the Office system deeper into the operating system, so that things can talk to each other. I'm be interesting to see how it goes on the iPad, if it'll be more siloed or how much it'll hook into, other cloud services.